Howdy kids. I bet you missed this show.
Who am I fucking kidding? You don't give a damn about my channel.
Now all sit in a circle and let Uncle DC tell you a story about a time that is long gone. Before the time of the woke media, before we cared if a man was fucking a man or a woman, or what political party a director or actor supports. Before the time of bland unoriginal movies filled with the latest celebrity with an annoying as fuck fanbase of teenage girls that make me, an annoying as fuck fanboy, want to rip my hair out. Before the time of cinemas being filled with uncreative formulaic superhero movies, there was a golden age of cinema, where you had talented men express their acting prowess, in the roles of the legendary American hero, the cowboy. Imagine this. A lonely bounty hunter outlaw, with a poncho on, walking in the Wild West, big iron on their hip. Clint Eastwood is an icon among Hollywood for this exact thing, and usually you'd have breathtaking music composed by master-class artists like the late Ennio Morricone. Duels were a gut-wrenching battle of tension, where you'd get two outlaws, standing in front of each other, as their eyes connect and then, the payoff. Who would kill who? That was incredible, and a time now long forgotten. There are still attempts of revitalizing this genre, with multiple big names being Western movies, but most fly by unnoticed. However, in the gaming scene, cowboys and westerns have created a niche that most people die for. Most people think of Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption franchise, birthed out of Capcom's Red Dead Revolver. And of course they would. These games, specifically the two Redemption games, are gripping emotional tales that throw you into their deep world. But they feel less like games, and more like movies to me. Not that that's a bad thing, far from it, but sometimes you may want something that is more about the gameplay loop, and addictive. There are a lot of other options of titles that may be your fix for your needs. I heard that Samurai Western was fun. Haven't played it. The reviews disagree. Then there is Call of Juarez, Gunslinger, aka the game that we will be reviewing today. Call of Juarez is a shooter franchise spearheaded by one Paul Salinger, aka the writer for the Dying Light games. The franchise is developed by Dying Light's Techland and was published by Ubisoft. The first game, simply named Call of Juarez, was released in 2006 for Windows and the 360. A sequel, that was actually a prequel, was released 3 years later called Call of Juarez, Bound in Blood, and it seems to have been very positively received. 2 years later, Call of Juarez, The Cartel, was released and it was. In 2013, the series devolved back to its roots and gave us Call of Juarez, Gunslinger, a game developed by Techland and published by Ubisoft. It came out on Steam, Xbox 360 and PS3. It also got ported to the Switch later on with the addition of motion controls for aiming. Gunslinger is a first-person shooter that puts you in a linear arena with enemies that you have to shoot. That's the most basic description I can give. We'll talk more about the mechanics that make it special on the dedicated gameplay segment. For now, let's talk visuals. Visually, this game's art style looks gorgeous. It's reminiscent of the art in Wanted posters, with a very harsh orangish color scheme, and the sketch-like textures on things like the guns. It reminds me a lot of how Borderlands 2 looks in more than visuals alone. The game doesn't look dated, due to the game's usage of cell shaders, the best way to keep your game looking brand new in any generation. Speaking of the Borderlands comparison, the games look similar in art style, and also in aesthetic too. Just like Borderlands, this game has cutscenes similar to the first cutscene in all Borderlands games and also has flashy cinematics to introduce the characters and even freaking weapons. Look at these amazing things. The game features 3 different gameplay modes. One of them is story mode, and the others are arcade mode, and duel mode. Let's start with the story first. The story of Gunslinger is completely detached from the rest of the series. It is not deep at all, just a fun 6-hour campaign that you can have fun with. It follows a bounty hunting legend named Silas Graves, who enters a saloon. He is approached by the people in there, who will be our voiced characters for the rest of the story, outside of NPCs. They are, a sarcastic man named Jack, an old-timer called Steve, bartender Molly, a teenager named Dwight, who happens to be voiced by Sam Riegel, and the barman, Ben. The entire campaign is Silas telling them his stories spanning 30 years, and it's actually very enjoyable. This allows the story to throw you in different scenarios in each level, with a different arena and unique enemy types per level. There is also some very cute details such as Silas insisting on the way he tells the story when you try and rebel against the plot, or details changing in the visuals depending on how the story is described. Like these.
I said that it was time to cut and run. It's a good thing that I abandoned that ridiculous plan before I even tried it. Instead, I spotted a ladder, a way into the mine from the opposites.
The levels are capped off by either a boss battle, Borderlands style, with a jacked up enemy and his goons, or in a western duel, like the ones described in the beginning. Speaking of that, before we go to the other modes, let's talk about the gameplay. Call of Juarez. Gunslinger seems like a typical 360-era shooter without any advanced movement. And it is. But it's best to describe it as an arcade-on-rail shooter, but off-rails. Trust me, you'll understand why. What makes this game unique are its mechanics. Concentration mode is a skill taken from the previous games in the franchise. It is indicated by that little revolver in the corner there. You can press the right shoulder button, and time around you will slow down, and it will all be grey and only the enemies will pop red. You can now headshot them or just kill them, like your fucking Max Payne. Also an underrated gem. It is so unbelievably addicting to pull headshots with this mode, and also, you can dual wield revolvers like it's fucking Halo 2. The new unique mechanic to Call of Juarez, Gunslinger, is sense of death. Basically whenever you're about to die, time slows down and you can dodge a single bullet by moving with the left analog stick. It's so fucking cool. The game also has an upgrade system for each class. We'll talk about classes in a bit. These upgrades use XP collected, and can be things like an increased ammo clip for certain weapons, or slowing more time when using a rifle, etc. During the gameplay loop of the story, you can find collectibles that are called nuggets of truth, giving you information of real-life places shown in the story and real Western-era characters and events. Now getting into arcade mode. It is basically a high-score mode where you'll kill enemies in all 10 of the game's maps, until you kill every enemy, aiming for the highest score at the end. And it's incredibly fun to do. You are greeted by 3 character classes to choose once starting an arcade level. Those are Gunslinger, Ranger and Trapper. They each have a selection of weapons from a pool of rifles, shotguns and revolvers. Also dynamite. You know. Boom boom. Big boom boom. Kinda like the one I did with your There is also Duel Mode, which is a selection of the boss battles found in the story mode. Let me explain. You get to a third-person POV, and use the right analog stick to close into the enemy and play with your hand, in a non-sexual way, with the left analog stick, moving your hand closer to the gun. Your goal is to lock your aim 100% on the enemy, to be fast enough to shoot first, but only after the enemy has reached out for their gun. You can fire before that, once you hear a heartbeat in game, but that will be what the game calls dishonorable, and will strip you of any XP or points you'd normally win. And yeah, that's Call of Juarez. That's all. It's a perfectly fine and simple game that does what it wants to do in spading colors. It's not an jack of all trades, but it's a master of one. I'd recommend it to anyone that it sounds interesting to, and you all cowboy lovers. Hoover if you're looking for a game that is story rich, because I know there are shats out there that call games shit for not having a deep story. It isn't the game for you, babe. You can find it on Steam for $15, but I believe that it is the perfect game to have on Switch. The addictive gameplay loop is perfect for handheld. This game deserves more love. I give it a 9 out of 10. If you for some reason like this video, consider subscribing and leaving a like. If you want to see my stupid artwork, check out my Deviantart and Instagram. And if you'd like to get some custom made, please do check out my Fiverr page and join my Dead Discord server. And don't forget to check out my fan comics, specifically DC Reissued Anniversary Collection, our brand new anthology series. Link in the description for all. I am the DC Fan XO, and don't forget that.
And that's when I met Sheriff Pat Garrett.
I read that you went toe-to-toe with him, sir. That backstabbing bastard with that tacked-on tin star. Kept you waiting, huh?
Hello, fellas. Or should I say, howdy, partner. To be video appropriate, I guess. For all means and purposes, this video is over. You can leave if you don't care about this anniversary speech I have prepared. Now, as of this moment, it has been exactly 2 years since the Forgotten Game review started, and I have to say, it's been a wild ride of ups and downs. As a way of celebration this year, I decided to drop the AI voice for a bit and actually have a heart-to-heart with the little community I've gathered over the years. I am the DC Fan XO, as you may know, but my real name is... But you can refer to me with any of the following monikers. Funnily enough, in September it will also be the 5-year anniversary of this channel's inception. I doubt I'll do anything worthwhile, but who knows. I don't know what I'll have on the background of this video, probably some random gameplay, I'll see. I legitimately don't know why I continue this series anymore, or my channel for that matter. I gain absolutely nothing monetarily from this, as I've mentioned priorly. It is simply made for fun, but my upload schedule is impossible to comprehend, with sometimes posting 1 to 2 episodes of the show per year, as of now. When I used to pump out about 10 in the first year. Of course, the quality of the videos has improved significantly from those early videos, so it's a case of quality over quantity, I guess, but still my point stands. I've probably become lazy, or I'm busy with something that I don't know. I could do more, but who knows why I don't. I'm nothing in the face of the algorithm. Something's barely garnering 100 views. Funnily enough, it's the videos that get the most love in the oven that get the least views, which is extremely disappointed. I'm extremely disappointed that. Oh, good lord. Ironically, I think 2 of them have been copyright claimed, hence I've been trying to evade the future claims like a maniac. Basically, I don't know, using video game music that can be copyrighted, or maybe doing the footage that I use, making it black and white, since last time I got copyright claimed by some anime channel that had the license to Sonic X, which I used in the background of the Shadow video, which was extremely disappointed. What I consider to be the 2 best Forgotten Game review episodes, the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle one, which I'm solely responsible for not the remake, sorry, the remaster of the game. I want 50% of the cuts. Spagonia 2, please give me money. Anywho, and also the No More Heroes retrospective that was last year's anniversary video. They get nearly no attention, whereas all the attention goes to the MK Unchained video, which is way back, and the Terminator video, which is also way back in the first year of the Forgotten Game review, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And good lord, that 1 Henry cooldown video I did when No More Heroes 3 came out. I beat that game day 1, and I also posted just a random compilation of clips I had recorded on my Switch, because I love the boss fight. That quick compilation keeps getting views, and it's now at 31k, I believe. And I've legitimately lost track of the comment section, and I feel horrible to do so. That thing is a mess. I'm not sure. I think it has like hundreds of comments, and I sometimes look back to it and I give 9-month-old replies to people's comments that I haven't seen. And again, sorry to anyone who hasn't gotten a reply, but I doubt our channel subscribers to see this. Another video that is painful to get no attention is the motion comic video I did for Eradicated, if anyone even looked at that, I suppose. I barely got 119 views in about a year, or almost 2 years now. I feel so bad for that one because it was a passion project. The talented animated True Border, which you should check out. He has some fun stuff on his channel. And the whole cast of voice actors have been working on it for a while, and it's extremely but it's extremely disappointing to see it underperform so horribly. As of now, the second episode and the rest of the series is indefinitely on hold. Speaking of the series, you should check out my fan comic, DC Reissued Anniversary Collection. It's an anthology for fun. If you like DC, you may get a kick out of it. I have multiple writers except for myself, so including myself, basically, not except for. Oh well. The most disappointing thing is seeing my Shadow video underperform so badly. That video was a passion project of mine, and I put a lot of effort into it, and it was extremely fun to do, especially because it got me through some interesting times, let's say. It was a distraction, and I loved it all the way through. You should probably check that out if you're interested. Weirdly enough, I've gotten a lot of people telling me that I should use my real voice for my videos, which I do get why, but my insecurities probably won't allow me to use it for longer than a section like this. And speaking of a section like this, I've retried this thing like 4 to 5 times now, and it's goddamn, it's incredibly painful. So I hope I don't get to do it again, I suppose. Okay, the AI voice is also part of the humor of my channel, especially hearing it mispronounce stuff and say phrases in extremely monotone, expressionless tone, let's say. I think in one of the first videos, one of the first episodes I did, he said, he had to say, wait, babe, don't go, or something like that. And he would go like, wait, babe. It was hilarious, to me at least. Some people find it annoying when I do get, but probably not. Also, I think my real voice sounds horrible as shit and extremely stupid, so it'd be to the channel's detriment, I suppose. But who knows, maybe some people find my voice attractive. I won't judge. I've thought of maybe monetizing my channel, but it wouldn't be worthwhile with the current viewership I get. Hell, I think I can't even do it where I live. I believe I looked at it once and it said not available in your country or something like that. It was just a pain. I've been trying to make a penny off my artwork for a while now on Fiverr, but I've only garnered $16 in about a year from one order from a fellow YouTuber called Zorrin. You should check him out. He's amazing. But yeah, that's that on the Fiverr part. I doubt anyone will buy my artwork anyway. It's not the best. For now, I don't have any future plans for big projects like the Shadow video I did, and which I urge you to watch it again. I'm very proud of that one. And I feel like technically I'm making videos only for my friends, because they're kind of my largest they're my biggest fan base, I suppose, which is weird because that's not all I'm supposed to get. I mean, I do get more, but they're the only ones that are subscribed that interact with it, I suppose. But it's okay. Hello, my friends. I do have a plan of games for the first season of Forgotten Game Review, and I am planning a last one whenever I finish the plan, which will be probably the biggest video in the series, and will be another passion project of mine, because I have a lot of love for that thing, which isn't really a forgotten game. It's more of an underrated gem in my eyes, because don't forget, the Forgotten Game Review also covers underrated stuff, so yeah, that works, I suppose. I believe the next one I've got planned is Suda51's Killer is Dead. So I suppose I see you then. Until then, thanks for listening to me bitch on for a while. Keep chasing your dreams, kids, or whatever. Just bye.